Dolphins training camp news, headlined by the Jalen Ramsey injury today, is made possible by Manscaped. 20% off and free shipping when you use promo code Dolphins over at manscaped.com. Jalen Ramsey was injured today at Dolphins training camp. He came up with a apparent left knee injury in some capacity following he was covering a pass and limped off the field, talked with the trainers for a couple minutes, and eventually was carted off the field altogether. It is still early. This happened minutes ago, basically, relative to filming, depending on when you're watching this, whatever. The exact severity is not known. Fingers crossed that, it's just training camp. If you suffer any injury, for the most part, they're going to put you on a cart. Maybe it's just a little minor sprain or whatever. Here's what Cameron Wolfe, one of the many Dolphins beat writers present today, tweeted. He had a pretty good angle, allegedly, per other reporters. Says, Jalen Ramsey's apparent injury happened near the end of practice. He tried to stay on the field initially after the incomplete pass, but after feeling his left knee for a bit, he headed to the sidelines to be looked at by Dolphins trainers. Now, several Dolphins players spoke with media after training camp today. Javon Holland, one of them, seemed like he said it was okay, but he said they're worried about Ramsey, but they don't know any details, don't want to speculate. Said he dapped up Ramsey and they talked for a bit. They're waiting to find out. Allegedly, Ramsey told Holland that he's straight, meaning he's all good. We'll wait and see. Fingers crossed, still early. I'm sure we'll know news at some point more in depth later on today. But you need Jalen Ramsey healthy, right? You make the big splash this offseason getting him for almost next to nothing in a trade. I mean, a third-round pick and your backup tight end, that was an awesome deal for the Miami Dolphins. There is some depth at corner. There's Kader Kohou, Cam Smith, Xavier Howard. Maybe don't want to play Noah Igbenogany. Nick Needham at some point should be back in training camp. But the whole goal was you add Jalen Ramsey to elevate this defense after a disastrous season last year, in large part, I would argue, due to the issues that occurred with the coaching staff, maybe more so than some of the personnel. But you add Rams with the mindset of being all in, trying to win a championship this year. Now you got a little bit of a worry about it. There's always going to be injuries during training camp. Hope it's just like a little tweak or whatever. But it is understandable if you're sitting at home right now, constantly refreshing, trying to find the exact details. So what is your concern level here over the Jalen Ramsey injury? We'll spend some more time on Ramsey, going to the Jaelan Phillips injury. Mentioned Dalvin Cook, Josh Jacobs here, but this is today's pinned comment. So what is your concern level on this Jalen Ramsey injury? Scale it from 1 to 10. 1 the low end, 10 the high end. Go vote at the pinned comment, especially if the ad comes here on YouTube. Fortunately, we're just going to have to wait and see what happens here. Hopefully it's nothing bad. It seemed like the vibe from the players wasn't too concerning. Those who talked afterwards to media wasn't like oh my God, we knew it's a torn ACL type of deal, which I hope ends up being the case. We'll knock on wood from that standpoint. The Dolphins need him and want him this year. They want him out there on the football field. They need him out there on the football field, being a key part of a defense that has the ability to upgrade their level of play substantially and help make a push this upcoming season for more than just a playoff berth, winning some games and going beyond. So we will keep you guys covered on Jalen Ramsey. We'll update you on the Jaelan Phillips injury here in a moment. But first, today's show is made possible by Manscaped. The Beard Hedger Pro Kit has everything you need to tame your mane. They've also got beard shampoo conditioner as part of the Pro Kit. It comes with the Beard Hedger. As the below-the-waist leaders are now going above the chin to take care of your beard. Maybe not perfect for Will Scott, but it does work out pretty well for me. They got beard shampoo conditioner. Since remember, all your hair is different. You should be treating your beard hair the way it's supposed to be treated. They've got beard oil, beard balm, and 3 free gifts, a beard brush, comb, and scissors to ensure your beard is ready to impress. Head over to manscaped.com. Use promo code DOLPHINS to get 20% off and free shipping on the Beard Hedger Pro Kit and whatever other men's grooming products you need to help take care of your hair upstairs and downstairs. Let's go to Jaelan Phillips. Kind of an under-the-radar injury, but it's probably minor. He did not participate in team drills today. He appeared to tweak his ankle yesterday, kind of more of a minor thing, it seems. He was on the field early in practice, but then headed on into the team facilities. That normally means, maybe you sprained it, you rolled it a little bit. It's July 27th. We're not going to jeopardize you and potentially make that worse. There's just a little bit of swelling or whatever. This one does appear to be minor, so we're not going to panic too much on that front here. It's July. Not even in August yet. It's day 2 of camp. Like, if this were a real practice, he still might be out there. This was a game. Seems like he'd definitely be playing, but there is no reason to rush through when you have a piece of your defense who's supposed to be critical and is probably primed, I would say, for a breakout season. The sack numbers dipped last year, 8.5 to 7. The quarterback hits went up. That is a sign of he didn't finish every sack, or at least get a chance to, but he's close. I think a double-digit sack season is coming for Jaelan Phillips this year. Some other injury news and notes, guys who were not practicing today. Freddie Swain, Keion Crossen, no details why. Trill Williams, Brandon Jones. I would say that is a precautionary pitch count thing for guys who were coming off injuries last year. So football is back, and we're excited. You've got training camp here. It's an awesome time of the year to have stuff to talk about. Hopefully not injuries every time. We'll do some general takeaways tomorrow for you guys. Hit that sub button, youtube.com/Dolphins News. Let's get to the latest here on Dalvin Cook. He is still unsigned as training camp starts, and it seems like we're finally getting the traction, the updates from that perspective. He's taken his first visit this weekend. Not to Miami, though. It is the New York Football Jets. There are those out there who are convinced had Jahmyr Gibbs been on the board, the Jets would have taken him. They are interested in another back. He's also talking about the Patriots, what they visit, and we have new odds for you guys today. Jets are the betting favorite, plus 350. That's a change. Previously, it was the Patriots. They are now plus 375. The Dolphins have dropped significantly, plus 500. The Commanders at plus 550, and the Cowboys, for some reason, at plus 750. The Dolphins seem to be treating the Dalvin Cook situation as, yes, there is interest, but there is a price, and it is a luxury edition, not a must-have edition, the same way, a Tyreek Hill, Jalen Ramsey deal was, whatever, because they do have backs. There's Raheem Mostert. There's Jeff Wilson. There's Devon Achane. Those 3 guys combined, even if there are injury concerns, whatever, can get you to 1,000 yards, I would argue, fairly easily. I don't think it's not a huge area of concern. So maybe an offensive line addition is. Dalvin Cook is still a good football player. I think there have been the signs of decline that raise red flags to whether or not you want to pay him what he seems to want. Make an offer? Yes. If you can get Dalvin Cook for like 3, 4, 5, whatever it is, $1 million, let's ride. If he's trying to demand the $10 million he was going to make this year, no, I don't think you need to pay a back $10 million right now. This has gone on for a while. Dalvin Cook has been linked to the Dolphins for months. He's kind of flirted with them. I'll use it publicly. And he's not taking a visit. Yeah, that tends to rub some feathers the wrong way. So are you over the Dalvin Cook saga? Y for yes and for no in the comment section. Josh Jacobs is next up here. Look at this is back too. We got injuries and running backs today. Bleacher Report thinks the Dolphins should try to trade for Josh Jacobs. The Raiders and Jacobs did not get a long-term deal done before the franchise tag deadline. Unlike Saquon Barkley, he is still not signed, and he is unhappy with the Vegas front office organization. He is not at Raiders training camp. We might not see him for a month or more in Vegas, so it's understandable why there are some of the trade rumors and theories out there circulating right now around Jacobs. 5 teams mentioned for Jacobs, some of which we've seen before in terms of the running back conversations. The Buffalo Bills, the Jags, I think makes no sense because they have Travis Etienne and they drafted a back in the 3rd round this year out of Auburn. That doesn't really fit for me. The New York Jets, again, that makes sense. The Commanders have been kind of a sleeper team for a back, and the Miami Dolphins. Now, Jacobs last year was the best running back in all football. 340 carries, led the NFL in yards, almost 5 yards per carry. That's some pretty unbelievable production. And the trade idea from Bleacher Report intrigues me a little bit. It's a third-round pick is what would be going to the Las Vegas Raiders 2024. The Dolphins would get Josh Jacobs. In theory, if you were to not re-sign Jacobs, you might be able to get a third or at least a fourth-round pick as a comp pick. That's noteworthy. So do you want to go after Josh Jacobs? I'll give some of my thoughts here in a little bit, but I want to hear from you first. T for trade, P for pass. What would you do when it comes to Josh Jacobs? Now, the Dolphins do have some semblance of interest in backs. Maybe not the full-on go for broke, add somebody, but I think, like I mentioned for Dalvin Cook, this is maybe more of a luxury interest of, look, we're always going to be in the market for good players. We're always going to explore the market, but there is a price tag in mind. Is a $10 million running back needed? Now, I think if you told Josh Jacobs, hey, we promise not to tag you, we're going to trade for you, even though you have to get Jacobs on board because he's not signed his tag yet, he has to approve it, there's some leverage there, maybe he would be on board with that. Do you need a $10 million running back, though? Or is what you're paying Jeff Wilson, Raheem Mostert, Devon Achane as a combination enough for the Dolphins to survive? I'd probably lean towards yes, but hey, crazy stuff happens. We'll see what else happens throughout training camp for the Dolphins. And fingers crossed on Jalen Ramsey.